Hi, welcome to another session in this series. We are going to be looking at how we can create a conditional column in Power Query Editor. For example, we want to classify our flight charges into two. One, any flight charges above 30, we call it high, and anyone below 30, we call it low. So how do we do that? So we come to this tab here, add column. So when you click on the add column tab, we come to conditional column. So when we click on conditional column, it takes us to this area. So we can say, okay, new column name. So let's call it flight rate. And then we create our condition here. So we say if the column name, so we are looking at flight charges. Flight charges. So let's call it flight rates, flight charges, operator. So here we say, okay, we can use equals, does not equal, is greater. So if it is greater than 30, is greater than, so the value 30, then what? The output. The output is I. S, that is, if it is the opposite of this, S, it is low. So, which means that if our flight charges is greater than 30, make it, call it I. And then if it's otherwise, call it low. So, and then we click OK. And you can see now, this is our flight charges. So our flight rates rather. These are low, low. So this one is high. So let us look at it. Let's look at the low ones. So these are the low ones. Let's go to the flight charges and see what we have there. So you can see that all of these are below 30. So good. Now, let us go a step further. And at this time, we are going to be looking at the other amount. The other amount here, we want to categorize it into three levels. The other rates. So if it is from 200 and above, from 200 and above, we call it high. If it is above 100, we call it medium, and if it is 100 and below, we call it low. So let's use our conditional column. So we call it other rates. So the first column, the column we are using is other amounts. So let's start from the maximum. So if it is equal, if it is greater than or equals to 200, greater than or equals to 200, we say that our output is I. So since we are looking at more than two conditions, we are going to add another clause. Then this clause also is working on the other amount. And at this time, we will say if it is greater than 100. If it is greater than 100, we say it is medium. So what we have done here is to say, okay, anything greater than or equals to 200, call it high. And then if it is greater than 100, then call it medium. So anything from 100 to below 200 is medium. Then our else clause is going to be low. So what we have done here is that okay, anything above 200, anything from 200 and above, call it high. Anything from 100 to 200, but 200 is not included, call it medium. And anything else that is from 100 and below, that is 100 and below, we call it low. Assuming we want it to be from 100, we use greater than or equals to 100. But now that we have said is greater than 100, it means that it will start from anything above 100, that is 100 point anything upward, to anything below 200. But and then from 100 and below, it will be low. So, or let's say greater than or equals to 100. So if we say is greater than or is equals to 100, then it means that from 100 to anything below 200 is medium, and anything below 100 is going to be low. So let's click on that. If we come here now, let's look at it here. You can see we have high, low, medium. So let's look at our medium. So these are the medium. So let's look at the other amounts. You can see that all the other amounts are between 100 and are above 100, and they are below 200. Let us look at low. You can see that for all of the low, they are all below 100. They are all below 100. And then if you come back to and check for the high, you see that they are going to be from 200 and above. You can see they are 200 and above. You can see other amounts 200 and above. Very good. So this is how we can create a conditional column in Power Query Editor. Thank you very much until we meet in the next one.